Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Inspired Conversations, Living the Legacy with Legends. I am excited today because I don't only have a speaker, but I have a certified wealth speaker. Now we're speaking the language of money today. Mr. Tyron Hanyani,
yes,
welcome to the show, sir, and thank you very much for coming.
No, I appreciate sir.
Can you please just start by introducing yourself? Who is Tyron?
Tyron, it's a guy that is coming from Limpopo, in a village called Makahlule.
Okay.
Yeah, down there in Malamulele. So by profession, I am an accountant, a qualified business accountant. So, and then as you have explained, I'm also into speaking, where I am a certified business coach. So yeah. That's what I can describe myself.
And among all these services, you chose wealth creation.
Yes.
What inspired you?
I think Africa as a whole, when it comes to the issue of wealth, I think we still have to do a lot, because I believe that the more wealthier we are, the more people get wealthy in Africa, that will bring us close to economic freedom. Because remember, you dominate with money. If you don't have money, it's not easy for you to dominate. So we need to create wealth in Africa so that we can able to also pass this to the next coming generation.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
And I understand you are doing it through BMI consultancy.
Yes,
Can you please share with us?
Yeah, we have got an organization, if I can put it that way, or a company called BMI. I have my co-director. So we, on that one, the main focus, we are planning to build wealth for organizations. It can be a company, it can be an NPO, or it can be an individual. But what encouraged us to start BMI, I was with a friend one day, then we were just talking. I like talking about wealth and all stuff.
That's nice.
Yeah, so then I told my friend, and I said, you see, we still have a problem in Africa. I just gave him an example. It was before we even started these things of BMI. And then I said, according to the knowledge that we have, like if a graduate come out of the varsity, what is expected from him, or maybe the road that he need to travel from the graduations and all those stuff, is that at least they need to have a car.
Yes.
And a house.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that is what is damaging most of us. That is what is delaying us to be wealthy or to get rich. Because remember, when you get that car, in most cases, it won't be a cash car. Yeah. It will be on credit. If you buy that house, it will be a bond house. So that automatically enslave you. So it is the belief that, like we have seen our brothers and people who came before us going the same way. So we saw a need with my friend to say that, why don't we create this institution? And our main target was to go to varsities and say, let's talk to these people before they come to this system. We make them aware that it is not all about buying cars and buying houses. So sometimes you can come out of varsity, try to accumulate money so that maybe you can start your business, because when you are in debt, it's very difficult for you to start your own business. It's not easy. Yeah. So that's what inspired us to form BMI.
And what does BMI stand for?
Be money informed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so one need to be informed about money, a knowledge that is not there in our cultures.
Exactly.
Because
exactly.
yeah, they don't teach us at school about financial literacy. So we said that with this organization we can go all around informing our people, more especially African people, about the issue of money.
And you spoke about enslaving, and I understand that you have an audio book called Mental Slave.
Yes.
Can you please share a little bit about that? Does it relate on that issue of
It relates on that issue. Hence today you see me putting on the T-shirts with
Yes, with an African.
thing.
Yes.
I'm so much in love with Africa. So I wrote that book of Mental Slave. I did a little bit of research. I think it was 3 years back about slavery. I wanted to understand where exactly this thing of slavery originated and all those stuff. And it hit me very hard to get that slavery was not all about chains only, but it was also about the mental part of it. You will agree with me that Africa as a whole, if I can be honest, we are still enslaved mentally. That is why you talk to an African and say you can do this, you can go this far. They don't believe that because of the mental, like the way in which they are chained mentally. I even gave an example on the same book that we're talking about, Mental Slave, to say that, let's say maybe you've got a horse that has been tied in a tree for a certain period of time. If we can come and try to untie that horse, it will take time for the horse to walk far away from the distance that it is to walk while it was tied.
In other words, it will still think that it's still tight.
Exactly.
Even though the rope is
exactly. Even though the rope is still like that. So that's what happened to Africa, because with Africa, you'll agree with me as we're talking about the issue of independence and all those stuffs. I think we are independent politically, but when it comes to the issue of economics and all those stuff, we are still so much enslaved. So hence I was motivated to write about that book, so that I can able to open the minds of Africans to say, yes, I understand chains are out of your legs, chains are out of your thinking, your hands, but there's another part that is chained again. And I think it's an interesting topic in Africa, since we're talking about the economic freedom and all those stuff, because to my belief, I even mentioned it on that book to say, I don't think that politics can bring the economic freedom as a solution, but we need another strategy. That one, it was good for political freedom. You'll remember in Africa, politically we are free. Yeah. We can vote, yes. But it doesn't help to vote and then still economically you are not free.
No, very true.
Yes,
very
so
true.
That's what inspired me to write about that book.
Now, I want to know, still on that topic, because as you have said, it's very important. When you talk about personal debt trap,
yes,
you know,
yes.
There is a say that you cannot live without debt. How do you enlighten people about that statement?
I think that belief, it has been created by people who wanted to make business out of debt. You see, from the book, I've already explained to say that, okay, one problem with Africa is so much indebted to European countries and the Americans or the United States. So that gives them an opportunity to control us. If you owe me, automatically you become my slave. Yeah. When you see me, you'll sweat. When you see me, you say, that guy that I owe is here and all those stuff. So according to me, I don't agree with that statement to say that one can live without debt. It's very possible. It's very possible. Hence, I said my topic as a professional speaker is also into wealth. So once you have got money, there won't be a need for you to go and have them. We have got people who buy cars of 1.5 million cash, you see. And we've got someone who will be buying a car of 200 and something thousand on credit and all those stuff. So I believe that one can live without debt. Even I'm a Christian. I believe in God and all those stuff. So even biblically, it's not encouraged that we must have debt, because God understood the danger of one being indebted. Once you are indebted, you can't control yourself. You cannot save your purpose. You are limited to a certain extent. So a person can live without debt.
But one will argue and say, maybe you are referring only to people who are receiving high salary. What about those who are receiving a little salary? Can they live without debt still?
Exactly.
But how?
What problem with Africans is that we want to live beyond our affordability. Fake life. Yeah. You see, you cannot try to live a life of someone who's earning 10,000 while you are earning 3,000. Mm-hmm. So fit into that 3,000, but don't just admit that you're gonna live the rest of your life under that situation of 3,000. Be looking at it. I have seen it a lot. Like now, let's say maybe I'm earning 10,000 from a company. If my company can decide, or maybe I just get another position and earn 15,000, I will try to change my lifestyle, the current lifestyle that I used to live while I was earning 10,000, so that I can able to utilize the 15,000 that they have put. So, but I think a wise person, if they add 5,000 on top of your 10,000, you remain living the life of that, the one that you were living the time in which you were earning 10,000. And by so doing, it means that now you are beating the normal expenses that you are having. You see, on that you can still put something aside on all those stuff. But with our people, if I earn 20,000 and my salary increased to 30,000, I even happen to change a car. You find that there's nothing wrong with my car. I'm driving a Polo Vivo, but because now I can afford a debt, not basically that I can afford that car, a debt that will finance me with a Mercedes-Benz, I will go for Mercedes-Benz instead of using the Polo Vivo. Yeah. So that's where these things goes wrong. So it is not all about how much do you earn and all those stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, I know a lot of people. If someone is earning 50,000, someone is earning 3,000, but the 50,000 guy will come and borrow 200 for petrol to pour into Mercedes-Benz from someone who's earning 3,000. You see, and I always tell people that we must also understand money. I think that's very important. I was fortunate enough. I did commercial subjects and all those stuff. I think this is also another knowledge that need to be impacted to Africans to understand money. What is money on the first place? Because I always define mine that money is so spiritual. Because if I have got 30 rands, it's not only 30 rands. Beyond that 30 rands, there is a spirit. I always give an example to say that someone can just complicate someone's marriage and all those stuff with money. Someone can travel the world with money. Someone can serve God with money and all those stuff. So money is not just a document or coins. There is a spirit beyond it.
No, very true. Now, talking about money, you also deal with encouraging people how to make money, how to grow money, and how to keep money.
Yes.
Now, today we have a lot of business networks.
Yes.
You know, you watch TV, you listen to the radio, you read newspapers.
Yes.
And you will find out about cryptocurrency, you know, those network. How do you encourage other people to know which network is legit? Because you know you will agree with me that a few years back some network scheme came and people were choked. So they lost a lot of money there.
Yes,
and even now there are still current ones that are coming. So how do you guys help people, you know, to understand the real networks that are really legit?
Yeah, on that one, yes, I've seen that, and I don't believe much on this networking stuff and all those stuff, because I think at a certain point it makes people to be lazy, and to have that thing of quick wealth. And quick wealth is very dangerous, because you see, if you can give someone 1 million now at the current moment, and that person is not well trained financially, it's easy for that 1 million to disappear. But someone who went through training, financial training to understand about investments and all those stuffs, and to understand where exactly can I invest my money, that person can be able to do well with money. If you can give that person 1 million, he can able to allocate it to right places. So I always discourage people to join such things. And as you explained, that some they happen to lose their money because of those things, because they will be giving you promises to say that if you bring 20,000, then you'll make 250,000 in a week. You see, and I think it is dangerous because I believe in streams of incomes that cannot run short. So if you create a stream of income, let that always bring money to you, not just for one day and then you get the money, and then when you got there it is dry and all those stuff. So what I can encourage people need to invest money. It's either you invest money to your purpose. Let's say maybe you know that you are good in speaking, then invest your money there, and then you generate income through your purpose or your gift and all those stuff, or any business that will continue to generate income from you. So those are quick way of making wealth, and on my side, I don't encourage.
So just
such.
go with your pace, be patient.
Exactly.
No, I hear
Yeah, because once they promise that you're gonna get 250,000 next month, so you first of all, you don't learn how to be patient. You see, you always want things to be quick and all those stuff. But if you have 100 rand and then you invest it on in a certain business, or maybe you're selling cups, you buy 2 cups, and then after that you make a profit out of that 100 rand, you add another 4, you add another, at the end, and then you are producing millions and millions of cups, but you know the process. So I think the problem with our people is we don't want the process. We don't want the process. And nature itself, it is designed in a process. For us to see an orange, there was a process. Someone put a seed, water it. There was a process for leaves. There was a process for flowers. There was process for, up until we have the complete thinking fruit. So even God is expecting us to go through the process. You might remember, in most cases, we always say that God, maybe He's still training me. That's why He's not blessing me with those millions and all those stuff. Because sometimes, if He realizes that we are not well prepared, He is even afraid to put us through that, because He knows that we're gonna be a mess. So I don't encourage those network thinking, because they don't give a process part of it.
No, I hear you, Mr. Mwan. Still talking about money, you also have a project. You have said that you are a Christian.
Yes.
You have a project where you encourage or teach pastors about money. You inform them about money.
Yes.
Can you please share with us a little bit about that project?
Yes, as I've explained that by profession, I'm an accountant. So I have a little bit of knowledge concerning to the issue of finance and all those stuff. So we are running an accounting firm. So the focus of our accounting firm is into non-profit organizations, because I've realized that most accountants, they ignore those non-profit organizations, and then they go for tenderpreneurs or people who have got a lot of money and all those stuff, you see. So my heart was into the NPOs. When I started my accounting firm, my first clients, there were NPOs. I think it was 3 or 4 clients when I started. Now we are talking about the database of about 200 and something NPOs that we are helping. So in these NPOs, mostly you'll find that we've got churches and all those stuff. So we set up a target to say that we are going to have these NPOs and help them to raise money. The target was 240 million. That want to raise 240 million for NPOs, because we've realized that some they cannot even get sponsors because of lack of these documents that are required. So we put those documents together. I will just give you an example. For one to get sponsorship from National Lottery, you need to have the financial statements and all those stuff. So that's where we kick in as accountants. So we do that and charge these NPOs a less fee, because most of them, since they are non-profit organizations, they don't have these monies, so that they can able to get those sponsorships and all those stuff. So we don't only do that, we also do workshops. One thing, more especially with churches, and you'll find that when it comes to the issue of finances, there is a lack. Sometimes it's good to be a pastor. Spiritually, you'll be finding those stuff, but you find that there is one don't know the difference between income and expenses. What's the value of the assets of the church and all those stuff. So we also take that journey to say, okay, let us go and teach these people about record keeping, for example, bookkeeping and all those stuff. What is an asset? How do you value an asset? An NPO, even though they are saying that it's a non-profit organization, but at the end of the day, we want to see profit.
Because at the end of the day, we need money for the organization to continue.
Exactly, you need money for the organization. If you are not following the cash movement within the organization, then it is difficult for you to go and have to build the whole entire organization, because so money is the very important thing. So we have taken that journey to say, no, let's go to these people, deliver the message and help them with their finances and all this stuff.
No, thank you, Mr. Hanyani. Now, I just want to know the choice of your books. How do they contribute towards your vision, towards the services that you provide? I mean, you have written here that you read books like Do Business Until I Come, The Land is Ours, The Rules of Wealth, Power of Planning, Business Secrets from the Bible, and all of them, they just in a one category. So how do they contribute towards your vision and services?
That's what I believe. That's why it's very important for a person to find their purpose. And if you have found your purpose, it means that you will try by all means to feed your purpose. I'm not sure if you get that point.
I'm getting the point.
Yeah. So I got my purpose. Then even the books that I read, they must be watering my purpose.
Yes.
Like the book that you gave an example with, Do Business Up Until I Come. That is the book written by Prophet Shepherd Bushir. It is talking about the business as Christians, as I've explained that I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've got that notion where people will be saying, if you are a Christian, you don't have to be rich. If you are a Christian, you don't have to do business because business people are corrupt.
Yes.
Yet from the Bible, God is encouraging us to do business. There were businesses, even people from the Bible, they were doing business. I'll give you an example about Peter. You know, he used to do the business in fishing.
Yes.
And then he was selling and making profit. They were carpenters. They were doing all these things. So God is expecting us to do business. So all these choices that you have seen, the books that I'm currently reading, they are feeding into my purpose. I also read a little bit of politics.
Okay.
More especially the freedom fighters and all those stuff. As I've explained, that one interest that I'm in is to make sure through my book Mental Slave to change the mentality of Africans. So I'm bound to read books that are talking about Africa. Okay, who were freedom fighters? What is it that they were doing, so that I can able to lead it to the economic freedom, so that at the end of the day, at the end we get enough information about these things. So that was the choice of my books. I wanted to make sure that I feed my purpose, actually.
All right. It's not over until I win. It's the statement that keeps you going.
Yes.
Can you elaborate the statement?
Yeah, actually, that is a stolen statement from one of my greatest mentor, Les Brown.
Okay.
I've been following that guy. Actually, I have every video about him. Sometimes when I go to YouTube and trying to download, you find that everything that is there about him, I've already watched it or read about it and all those stuff. So, but what encouraged me with that statement of saying that it is not over up until I win. I believe that to be successful, one need to fight. And once one goes to the battlefield with that statement of saying that it is not over up until I win, it helps you to fight. It doesn't matter how many times life will knock me down, but up until I win, I'm not giving up. I will come back and fight. I will continue fighting. So hence, it's a statement that encourages me every morning. When I wake up and face the battles of life, I just go with that statement to say that up until I win in this day, it won't be over. I don't care how many patches am I gonna get, but I will rise up and I will go and win.
As someone said, push until something happens.
Exactly. You push up until something happens. So I keep pushing.
No, Mr. Tyron Hanyani, thank you very much, sir, for coming.
No,
and
I appreciate
I'm inspired. You know, I'm motivated I'm encouraged about money. You know? And I believe that you're also encouraged.
Yes,
you're also
yes,
informed. You were watching Inspired Conversations, Living the Legacy with Legend. Let's meet next time, same place, on Global Conference TV. The journey continues.